Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alisha, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question this week comes from Rizal Kuswandi. Hi again, Rizal. Rizal says, hi Alisha, what's the difference between think and thought, and when do we use them? Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the verb uses of these words. So the simple answer is that think is present tense and thought is past tense. We use think when we're talking about our opinions or ideas for things that are always true. So, for example, I think summer is the best season, or I think tea is delicious. We use thought to talk about our past ideas and opinions, yes, but we use thought to talk about actions or activities that have been completed and we want to refer to our opinions of those things. So, for example, I thought the movie was great. I thought dinner was expensive. So sometimes we want to talk about like a past situation, so something that happened before and we want to share our opinion of it, but we don't use present tense think. We use thought to refer to that. So I thought dinner was expensive last night, or I thought the movie was great. So the activity has ended, but we want to share our opinion of that. So when we're talking about our regular opinions and ideas, like things we think are delicious, always, or things we enjoy or things we hate, always, we use present tense think to do that. We would not use think for a completed action, like I think the movie was great last night. We would not use that. We use past tense to do that. So I hope that this helps you understand the difference between think and thought. Thanks very much for the question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Maria. Hi, Maria. Maria says, hi, could you tell me which one is correct? Have a shower or take a shower? Thank you. Yeah, both are correct. The difference here is really just that have a shower is perhaps more commonly used in British English. We tend to use take a shower in American English. Some other expressions you might hear related to bathing in English are hop in the shower, which implies a very short shower, or hop in the bath, hop in the tub as well, where tub refers to a bathtub, or have a rinse maybe. You might also hear take a rinse, which sounds like you're just rinsing your body off. Maybe like after a jog, for example, rinsing sweat off of the body, or maybe rinsing some dirt off the body after doing some gardening or something. So we have a few different shower and bathing related expressions, but the most common one in American English is take a shower. Have a shower is okay to use too. It's just more commonly used in British English. So I hope that this helps you. Thanks very much for the question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Farijiham Noor. Hello, Farijiham. Farijiham says, hi, Alisha. What is the difference between had, have, can, and could? This is a really big question. Let's start by looking at have and had. Their uses and the meanings, it really depends on the situation. So first, we can use have in present tense to refer to owning something. Had is the past tense form of that verb. We can also use have and had to make perfect tense sentences, perfect tense statements and questions. So have is used for present perfect tense. Had is used for past perfect tense. We also use this in responsibility expressions like have to and had to in present tense and in past tense respectively. So let's look at a list of example sentences that show us how each one of these is used. I have a cookie. I had a cookie at lunch. I have had a cookie today. I had had 4 cookies by the time I left the office yesterday. I have to eat all these cookies. I had to eat so many cookies yesterday. So these example sentences show us the variety of ways that we can use have and had, sometimes together, to make a lot of different statements. Moving on to the second part of your question about can and could. These two words also have quite a lot of different uses. We can use can in present tense to talk about our abilities and to make like requests and offers. We can use could to talk about our past abilities and to make polite present tense requests and offers. We also use could to talk about unreal situations, and this includes impossible situations in the past. I can speak Spanish. I could speak Spanish when I was a kid. Can you help me with my homework? Could you please help me with my homework? If I had a lot of money, I could buy a house. Was that Davy? No, that couldn't have been Davy. Davy's at the office. So can and could is also a very big topic. I hope that this very quick introduction at least shows you some examples of how we use these different words. Thanks very much for your question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Wai Hin. Hello, Wai Hin. Wai Hin says, what is the difference between do you and are you? Do you begins questions that are asking for help, that are asking for information, or maybe making requests and offers. We follow do you with the present tense form of the verb, just the simple infinitive form of the verb. Some examples. Do you know where my keys are? Do you have a pen? Do you want to get a coffee? Do you go to the gym every week? Are you begins a question asking about someone's condition. We follow are you with a verb in the progressive tense, with a noun phrase, or with an adjective. Some examples. Are you a doctor? Are you okay? Are you coming to the office today? Are you at home? So this is kind of a good guideline that you can use when you're trying to decide between do you and are you questions. What kind of information do you want to know? If it's a condition question, you can probably use are you. If you're looking for information or trying to make a request, you might use do you instead. I hope that this helps you. Thanks very much for the question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Sridhar Reddy. Hi again, Sridhar. Sridhar says, hi Alisha, what's the difference between it's okay and that's okay? Not much really. In most cases, we use them interchangeably, but there are a couple cases where we do use just one. So, for example, when you're making a sentence that uses an if pattern, you always want to use it's okay, not that's okay. For example, it's okay if you can't finish this today. Or, it's okay if you're running late. So we would not use that's okay in that situation. That's okay if you're running late, or that's okay if you can't finish it today. We would use it's okay if you're making an if sentence, an if clause sentence. So in many cases, especially in my case, I tend to use that's okay when someone apologizes to me for some kind of small mistake. So if someone bumps my shoulder, or if somebody forgets something, I don't know, I could say that's okay to mean no problem. You could use it's okay in this case too, but I feel like that's okay might be a little bit more common. Also, when you are in close proximity, so that means when you have a very close relationship, either physically or emotionally, to another person, and you're talking about an issue, and you want to present a situation, and you want to make the other person feel at ease, like everything's fine, you can use it's okay. So, for example, person A might say, oh no, I deleted an important file from my computer. B says, it's okay. I made a backup yesterday. So in that situation, it's okay precedes or comes before the solution to the situation. In those cases, using it's okay might sound a little bit more natural than that's okay. But as I said, in most cases we use them interchangeably and it doesn't really cause a communication problem. But I hope that those are a few situations that you can use in daily life and that you can use these two expressions a little bit more naturally. So thanks very much for the question. I hope that that helps. Okay, that is everything that I have for this week. Thank you, as always, for sending your questions. And remember to send them to me at EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alisha. Of course, if you liked this week's lesson, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this week's episode of Ask Alisha, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.